everyone, we are back in Magical Worlds today by Johanna Basford with my Castle Arts pencils, soft touch pencils, and we have this little flower pot flower pot to do today. I'll come in closer so you can have a closer look. Now Johanna did this one while she was doing a live as part of her book tour, and it was beautiful. I have to say, she didn't do the leaves and greens, she mixed it all up and I thought it was lovely. But what I thought I would do was do it differently, just, you know, so you've got something different, if you know. And I thought it looked rather like a succulent, so I thought we would do these all in greens, and Johanna did hers all in pinks and purples and it looked gorgeous. I thought we'd do it all in greens, like they were all sort of succulent leaves. It would be a bit different, so let's have a go. So I'm going to start with the leaves. Now I always feel succulents as sort of grey green, or yeah, so I'm going to start with a terre verde. In this set the terre verde is quite grey green. I actually sorted all these pencils out yesterday into the same order that they're on the swatch chart, because I'm using the swatch chart that was supplied with the set, and I turned them all round so I could see all the colour names, so it might make me a little bit quicker at finding the colours. So these larger leaves, I'm going to start with a deep bit of terre verde in the middle here, and then I'm going to sort of taper it off towards the tip like that. I'm going to leave the ends white at the minute. We are going to put some colour in there. I've had a lovely week this week. It is the 1st of November. Oh, I need to turn my calendar. I'm going to do that right now. Sorry, I'm not colouring, just yapping. Oh yeah, so many appointments this week, this month. Anyways, yeah, I've had a lovely week because most mornings I've got up. I've waited for my son to wake up, because if I get up before him, I wake him up. Once he's awake, he gets up. He doesn't always get up. He'll sit in bed on his phone or whatever, and I'm fine with that. He can have a little bit of a rest and a line, because he's not in uni this week. Hasn't been in uni this week. So I get up, have a quick shower and get dressed, and then I go down to breakfast, and I've been watching Johanna's book tour videos while eating my breakfast, and then maybe I've had my book in the kitchen. I'm reading a book on anxiety. It's really fascinating, and I've been reading my book while having a bit of breakfast on my own, nice and quiet, and then maybe someone else might join me later as they get up. It's been just terrific. It's been a rather relaxing week because my husband's had the week off work as well, so I haven't had to get up and get anyone out the door. I have been doing my chores, but I haven't been having to rush them. I haven't been having to make any lunch boxes or anything like that. And actually we've been to town a couple of times with husband. Went to town with one of my sons yesterday. It's all been very lovely, but I've been making a few videos. I've been doing this page, but not loads. It's been a lovely relaxed time. Next week it's all back to it. Everyone's back out as normal, and then December, I think they've got about 6 weeks or so, and then everyone's off again. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest of these leaves exactly the same as this. Oh, pencil wants to run away. Now I want the tips to be slightly pinkish. I'm just having a look at the different colours we've got. What I really want is a sort of pale caput mortuum. Spice red or cherry? Cherry. I'm going to grab the cherry. I wonder where it is. There it is. Now this is a very intense colour. I don't want the tips of my succulent to be really bright pink, so I'm going to try to just put a little bit down. It's still quite bright, but we're going to put another colour in between, and we'll smush it a bit and hopefully go over the top of it, and it might just tone it down a bit. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, yesterday I couldn't decide what to colour, so I've been a bit like that with this book. It's because I've been like, well, am I going to do that page as a video? Am I going to colour it? That sort of thing. I think I'm just going to start just doing pages I like, and then if there are pages people want as videos, I just have to buy another copy of the book. Oh dear. Anyway, I picked up a book that I've got. I can't think of the author's name now, on how to paint with colour pencils. It's a weird term, and it's basically how to colour with colour pencils and draw, but you don't have to do the drawing bit. And I've got a review of it on my channel somewhere. Anyway, I flipped through. So I haven't looked at it for ages, so I thought it was about time I had a look at it. What we're going to do now is a grey. We're going to do some warm grey light. Might seem weird, and we're going to use it as this sort of transition colour between these two. So here it is, warm grey light. So I'm going to go right over the top of that red, and then quite hard, and then just put a bit of colour in between. It's not really fading it very much, is it? But never mind. So anyway, I was looking at that, and there was all sorts of different colouring techniques, lots of glass, like crystal glass, cut glass, that sort of thing, which I don't really don't really ever colour. I mean, we do bottles and things, but it's a bit different. So anyway, I was looking, and they had a pearl. There was a pearl one. All the book is Prismacolors, which I haven't used it very much because I wasn't using my Prismacolors that much when I got the book, if I even had them then. But I was like, okay. So I looked at this pearl one. Oh, I've missed one. And I had a go, but I haven't got any pearls to colour, and I decided that I would do some pearlescent balloons. Now I thought this book's got some balloons in, so I thought I'll practice the pearlescent balloons in a different book, and then if it works I'll do it as a video for you. There won't be a video. Let's just put it that way. There won't be a video. I'm going to try and find a slightly different shade of grey-green to do the rest of this. I think the chrome green is our nearest. There we go. So anyway, chrome green. For these leaves, I'm just going to make them a bit darker in the base and lighter towards the tip. So I practiced this pearlescent technique on the balloons in Worlds of Wonder with the elephant page, you know. And you use like a mix of green, blue, pink, a bit of yellow, salmon, all sorts of colours like that to produce this sort of reflections in the pearls type thing. And I had a go, and it was really, I feel that it looks a bit muddy, you know. It didn't quite, I had to use black as well for some of the shadows and things. But so what I did for the elephant part, I don't know if you're not familiar with the picture, the elephant has got like a sort of cloth over its back with different sections in for different colours. So I used the colours that I used in the balloons, which were all muddied up in the balloons, for different parts of his sort of coat / cloak, whatever it is, cover. And then just did him in greys. But I wasn't very sure of how successful the whole thing was. But anyway, it was different, and I'm going to try some other things from that book at some point, because it potentially is a very good book, but I'm not sure I followed the tutorial very well. Now what are we going to do with the rest of this house? Well, I'm going to do the windows next. Now when I do this sort of greyish dull colour, I don't want a bright orangey yellow for my glass. I think it's not really going to work. So I could use a browny yellow, like an ochre or a green gold, or a lemony yellow. Now we've used quite a few lemony yellow windows, so let's do more of a browny one. I think I will use the green gold. Be a little bit different. Here we go. But I'm going to colour, I'm just going to sharpen it. I'm going to colour the glass like I have in the others, leaving a little bit of white. Yes, I'm quite sad that Johanna's book tour is finished, but I'm thinking maybe I could just get up on the weekends and watch a different video, either hers or someone else's. I don't watch loads of colourists. I used to watch more than I do. I often watch Colour with Claire. I like Colour with Claire's videos. There we go. Some people I find... right, now where are we going? Maybe we'll do some grey pebbles, just to, while I'm procrastinate trying to decide what colour to do the house. So this is a warm grey light that we use for part of this plant. We're going to do a few with these. Now with these, they're quite small, so I'm not going to do too fancy, but I think we'll just try and go a bit darker at the bottom. So I'm just going to layer it up there and a bit less higher up, but I need to put enough layers in so you can actually see that I've coloured it in, like that. And we'll get maybe the Davies grey and do some others. I think it's quite nice doing them in different colours. It's not something that I used to do a lot. I would have done them all the same. But when I did that roof on the boot picture above here, with lots of different greys, I really liked it. So I just decided to change the way I do things, change it up a bit. Why not? Could have a bit of a change. My husband is teaching my boys to shave at the moment. Now my one son doesn't have much facial hair, so he hasn't really bothered too much. He just trims it a bit. But my other son has been using like electric razor, but he's never taught them how to use just like a normal razor. So my other son is like, I want to learn how to use a normal razor, charcoal grey, so he's showing them how to do it. So that's interesting. Yeah, because my one son doesn't care too much. He just wants to not look too scruffy. The other one is like, no, I want a really clean shave. So, yeah. Right, roof. We could do it grey, but I think this is a flower pot. It's not a house. So, I'm thinking we could match them with these pinks, I think, is what we need to do. Now, what colour is that even? It's cherry, isn't it? The magenta is really similar. Let's find that. There's our magenta. There it is. I should look on the swatch chart. It might be quicker. There it is, magenta. So I think it's quite a dark colour. So I'm not going to use loads of it, but I'm going to do a bit on the edges. So down here, where it's going to be a bit darker, I think. And just sort of taper it off here. And then Johanna's drawn us this as if she thinks this should be a bit darker. And then here. Let's sort of do it slightly symmetrically, like that. So I am going to just layer that up a bit more down there. And there. And then I'm going to get a slightly lighter. This is something that I saw Johanna doing. I'm just copying her. Why not? She knows what she's doing. Purple. And I'm just going to not press too hard here. Sort of fill the gap in a bit. It doesn't look that different, does it? I'm going to go really light. I'm going to get a pink. Do we have one that's a good shade? Do I go for the lavender light? Will that match better? I think it will. Lavender light. Lavender light. Here we go. Lavender light. And I'm just going to go over all of it really, just sort of draw it all together. You don't have to cover every bit of white paper, but I'm just trying to sort of smush it up a bit. I mean, it doesn't smush these hard pencils, but just fit it in a bit. I don't know if these colours even match each other. There we go. Now we need something for our door frame and part of our roof, and then our door and the other part of the roof will be different colour. I'm tempted to go with this sort of mulberry. Would it work? Would it work? We'll go with aubergine. That's not quite such a big step away. Aubergine, I need to sharpen it. There we go. Now I'm going to do the door frame with this. You'll see it's a slightly more bluey colour, but not so much so that it's, you know, a completely different colour. Just trying to get a good layer down. I think I still need to be a bit sharper. It's better. I think it would be a bit darker at the bottom probably. And I'm going to do the windows, the sill, a bit darker again at the bottom, same with this top bit if I can. I don't know if it shows up that much. Now for this we've got these different sections. I'm going to do these sections in this. I'm going to block them in quite dark so that the plant stands out. I might put some just trying to work out if that's the full section. It is. I might put some other colour in there in a bit as shadow. Now we need something else that's reasonably similar. Will the spice red work? It's a bit too red. I'm going to go for the cobalt purple actually. Here it is. Just needs to sharpen. It's very, very blunt. Now this is going to be the front door and the roof. I'm going to use it a bit lightly here because I think otherwise we're in danger of it looking the same colour as this, or not standing out from this. That doorstep I'm going to do in some greys, I think. So I'm just going to, I think, go a bit darker here at the end of each line, a bit lighter up, like that. I have to do this. I just feel like I want a bit of texture in my door, but the roof will be flat like the other bits were. I asked my son to look at his timetable for February. I know it's a long way away, but I wanted to be able to prepare, and he's in 3 days a week most weeks, although a couple of weeks he's got to be in on a Saturday morning, which is a bit strange. But I want some shadow underneath our plant because I think the pink tips are merging into the roof, and I think the best thing to use for that is just a black. So I'm going to sharpen up my black. Now plenty old blacks, so this one is getting a bit short, but it doesn't really matter because in my Monet set, my botanical set, my is it called Seascape? I can't remember set. I've got lots of black, so we're just going to go underneath a bit and put in a bit of black shadow. It just sort of thickens that line underneath, so it stands out a bit. We can put some under here as well if we want, under the leaves where they're sort of above each other. Thinking it would be probably more at the bottom. Like that. You don't have to do this bit if it's too fussy for you. You can just leave it with the colours. There we go. Just seeing a few bits I missed when I lifted my head and looked from far away. As I say, you don't have to do it, but once you start, it's good to sort of get it all done. I'm going to put a bit more under here, it doesn't. There we go. It's a little bit here too. It isn't quite dark enough for my liking. There we are. Right, doorstep time. I'm going to use the very light grey that we used first, the warm grey light, to do a layer across. Now this could be a doormat, not a stone step, but I'm thinking it's a stone step, which is how I'm going to colour it, but you don't have to, you can do it however you wish. So I'm going to grab my charcoal and I'm going to put a few cracks in our stone. Like that. Maybe that isn't necessary. And then I'm going to use the Davies grey to just put a few patches of darker. I'm thinking maybe at the edge or on the side. There we go. So there we go. I made it into a succulent pot, I think. I rather like those succulents that look like that. So I think Emily Illustrator did one for the succulent pot in the book. She did hers like that. I think they're pretty. I bought one for my husband, but unfortunately he can't seem to keep them alive. But never mind. I'm sure it's all fine. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a really, really lovely day. Hopefully you'll get time to do a bit of colouring. If you didn't colour along with this one, hopefully there's something else you've got that you can have a go at. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and happy colouring.